I met Debra in Coolidge, Arizona. Debra and I were kids at the first time we met. Wow. Originally, 19...
I met Rick when we were very young. We were about, I would say 6 years old, 6, 7 years old.
1967. My uncle sung in a singing group with her father. And
he used to come over to my house with his uncle.
They lived on Elm Street in Coolidge.
And my dad had a group, and it was maybe about 4 or 5 men.
I sung in the singing group too.
They would come, every other weekend or so often, and they would practice. And that's how I met him. He was the only little kid that was, singing with all these grown old men.
At the age of 6.
I come to think of, they probably wasn't that old, but at that time I really thought they were old. How did we begin to talk again? Well, I went and got married. I got married when I was 16 years old. And so I stayed in that marriage for 7 years, and then me and my ex-husband, we broke up. And so at that time, I was going to my brother's church, and Rick was singing in a little group called
New Creation. The singing group was her brother, Dr. Alfred Craig, or now Apostle Alfred Craig. I was singing in the group that was under the umbrella of his church. So that's kind of how we came back into each other's lives. She was attending his church. We
started, just saying hi. And so when I was going through the divorce, and he would just say, hey, how was everything going? I said, well, I'm going through a divorce. And he says, well, if you ever need anybody to talk to, just give me a call.
Just to be a friend, because I knew her from way back when we were children, so that was my honest approach. But my honest approach, I believe, got a little clouded. You know how to do you, and that's kind of what happened to me. I mean, it just kind of. But my initial approach to her was not for. Now she might say something different, but
Y'all, that was a setup, okay? So that's what happened. He said, just give me a call.
I really didn't have any, ulterior motives. At first, I knew she was going through some things, and I approached her from the perspective of just if she needed somebody to talk to, that I was available. He said, did she allow me to approach her? I think she was kind of, because she knew the state that she was in, she knew where she was at, and so she was a little guarded, I guess you can say, because of that, which is understandable.
So I think 2 or 3 weeks went by. It was on a Friday night, and so me and my sister said, let's just go to Florence. They're gonna have a party. Let's go to Florence. And so that's what we did. So I just, me and my sister, we went to Florence, and I had called him, and I said, you know what, we're gonna come to Florence and blah blah blah. And so he says, yeah, just come on over, and that's how it started. So after the party, went on.
Our desire, I believe, in life is to do things right, and I believe that was her desire. Her desire was different, I guess, than mine.
After the party, went on, then he came to my house, which was a no. Okay, so.
Debra had been saved for years. I think since she was like 12 or 14. It's gonna sound strange, but I wasn't saved. I was singing in the church group. I was a deacon in the church. If I would have died, I was still going to hell because I had never acknowledged Jesus as my Lord and personal Savior. That was the biggest difference. She was saved, loved God, wanted to do right. Here I am, unsaved. Ain't nobody taught me how to do right. So my approach was a little different,
He wasn't my type. We were good friends. That was it. At school, we were in high school, and we used to see each other at games and at parties, and we never dated, we've never done anything of that nature. I always liked him, but I don't like dark men. Okay, I've never liked dark men, and I like tall men. And Rick is totally opposite. He was really dark. At that time, I thought he was as black as a Crayola. Really, he was so dark to me. And so now he's really not that dark. And so he said, "Debra, I really haven't changed." I said, "Yes, you have."
You know, I attracted you to him.
He treated me so nice. I remember the first night that he came over, yeah, right after the party thing, and then he came over, and he says, "Boy, your ex-husband got to be crazy to let you go." And he was just saying just nice things about, "You are so beautiful, and I've always liked you, but you were so stuck up." He said you were so stuck up that if it rained, you would have drowned. That's what he told me. I said I was not stuck up. It's just that I knew who I wanted and what I wanted.
I was overwhelmed by her beauty, and it caused me to, make some other, to modify my endeavors, I guess you could say.
When he came over that night, he made me feel like I was the most beautiful woman in the whole world. And so he got me. Yeah. He was not my type, but God knew who I needed.
Where we are now, I know it was the perfect will of God.
I started going with Bishop probably like in September. It was only like a couple of months. That was it. I left my ex-husband in July. It was in the middle of the summer.
What year?
It had to be in 1984.
How soon after we met did I ask her to go out on a date? Probably 30 to 60 days later.
Our first date, let's see, we didn't go out a whole lot, but we did come to Phoenix. We were living in Coolidge, and we did come to Phoenix. Our first date, let's see, we didn't go out a whole lot, but we did come to Phoenix. We were living in Coolidge, and we did come to Phoenix, and we went to a club. We went to a nightclub, and I don't really dance, and so we took my sister, and she loves to dance, and so Rick and my sister Paula was on the dance floor about the whole night. I had a wine cooler, and at that time, because I really never drank too much. And so I had a wine cooler. You guys, a wine cooler used to knock me out. And I think it's only like 10% of alcohol, but it used to knock me out. I started going with Bishop probably like in September. It was only like a couple of months. That was it. Just started, dating him, and we hit it right off. He started coming over, and so we were real close, real close. And so yeah, it didn't take long, and so then that was around like September, I think it was. My divorce was final in January, you guys, in January, and we got married in March the 9th.
We got married on March the 9th, 1985. So that was probably 6 months, 7 months later, I guess.
Really, I was not a single lady. I hated it. I hated being single. I didn't like being single. Now I think I probably could, because there was a lot of teaching on it and all of that. But back then, no, because there was no teaching, and I wanted to live right. I didn't want to be out there sinning.
It kind of moved a little quickly, I think, for her and for me. And I say for me because I wasn't really ready for marriage, yet I thought I was. And then she was not totally, I guess, free from or healed from the marriage that she had been in. So we kind of moved a little quicker than maybe we should have. And because of that, we did go through some things at the beginning, a little rocky road. But it was not long before it began to smooth out, because our commitment to God and to each other, I believe, caused us to make some appropriate changes to make sure that this marriage did not end in divorce, but it would last a lifetime.
And so I did end up getting pregnant. And so we kind of pushed everything up. But you guys, I was really trying to live a Christian life, and it was hard for me to be single and popping back and forth out of bed. He didn't, he was always going to church, but he was not a real Christian. He was just going to church, but there was no God in him. And so that was a huge difference. And so I kind of, when I got pregnant, that really just floored me. And, he says, and he was always, let's get married. And I kept telling him no. Yeah. And then he told me this. He says, if you don't marry me, somebody else will. So I started thinking about that. So we got married. I was about 3 months pregnant when we married, 3 or 4 months pregnant.
What would I like to tell Debra G after 36 years of marriage, 13,140 days, 1,135,296,000 seconds? It has been great. I have loved every moment. I am more in love with you now than I was then. You have proven to me your love over and over again, not just by what you say, but by what you do. You have loved me, and you have loved who I love. Like I had 2 children prior to us getting married. You never made a difference between yours or mine. I am a blessed man to have you in my life, and God, I believe, is the one that put us together. Like the Bible says, what God has joined together. I truly believe that God joined us together. Now, the way that it all happened could have been different, but it happening, I believe, was kingdom ordained. And I'm just so happy that God would count me worthy enough to have such a great woman of God in my life. Debra, you are a phenomenal woman. There is no comparisons to you. You have no equals. You are in a class all by yourself. And I just want you to know that from my heart to yours, I love you unconditionally. I love you not only with the love of the Lord, but I just love you, and more than loving you, like you always say, I like you too. So that is definitely a plus.
Hello, Mr. Garrett, my one and only, my chocolate, not with no milk in it, but just chocolate.
She couldn't do without this dark chocolate. No, I'm joking.
This is 36 years and we've been married, and I love you so much, and I don't even know what I would do without you. On the other hand, I don't want to train nobody else. No, on the serious side. I love you. You are all in all to me, and I wouldn't know what I would do without you. One of the things I can say about you, Rick, is that I love you dearly. I mean, I love you, but you know what? I like you. And that is a difference. Just as we're getting older and we've, married, like I said, 36 years now, we like each other. Rick makes me laugh, you guys. He's so funny. And I mean, he does crazy things, and he makes me laugh. And sometimes I'll just laugh so hard, you guys, that I'm just crying. I'm crying. But I like him. I like being with him. And that's what makes our marriage so good, is when you like a person, when you love a person only, is merely because that is a commitment. But Rick, I love you and I like you.
Thank you for spending these 36 years with me. I am looking forward to the next 36 plus that we spend together as we make new memories, and as we please God with our lives and go places that we've never gone and do things that we've never done. Truly, again, I say that I am a blessed man to have you, Debra Jean, in my life. So thank you for doing life with me. Thank you for sharing your world with me. And thank you for just accepting me for who I am, but then helping me to become who God created me to be and who you knew I could be. So I salute you, I honor you, and I love you more than words can express.
So
I can tell you when he first kissed me. I still remember that kiss, you guys, right today. He was leaving, and I was at the door. He was leaving, and then he just pushed me in his arm, and he kissed me with his big soft lips. That's what got me, you guys, was his big soft lips. Yeah. Happy anniversary. Happy 36 years anniversary, and many, many more to come.
Thank you.